Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and it's been ages since we talked about FIFA 16, hasn't it? Okay, maybe not, but we're going to talk about it again today, as if there's no other FIFA game I could make a video about. Anyway, player potential is huge on FIFA, so today I'm going to look at every current Premier League club's player with the most potential on FIFA 16 and see where they are now. Arsenal, Christian Bielik. No one at Arsenal had more potential than Polish midfielder Christian Bielik on FIFA 16. He started the game as a 61, but the decision makers believe he had what it takes to increase 17 ratings over the years to a 78. It would never make him a fully fledged gunner, but would certainly be some rise. Well, in 2020, Bielik's potential is even more, but now he's left the Emirates. Bielik joined Derby last summer, and on the most recent FIFA 20 update he was a 70 rating with potential to reach 82, so you could say EA have judged his career perfectly so far. But at the age of 22, it's now up to Bielik to prove it can go the distance and hit the 80s. I mean in terms of rating, don't just start listening to Van Halen or Bon Jovi. Aston Villa, Russia and Hepburn Murphy. This was an exciting Villa team in terms of potential. You had Jack Grealish who could reach an 83, as well as the electric Adama Traore. While they had huge potential, no one was tipped to improve more than Hepburn Murphy. Hepburn Murphy was tipped to go from a 60 to a 78, but he'd have a job in his hand reaching that now, as this summer he signed to Cypriot side Paphos, which I've heard is a lovely holiday destination, so who cares about FIFA potential here, Shane? Brighton, James Tilley. If you watch my video on each club's worst player on FIFA 16, you know all about James Tilley. But as well as being Brighton's worst, he also had the most potential on FIFA 16, possibly going from a 56 to a 72. Well, considering he's now at Grimsby Town, I think we can safely assume he's yet to reach that potential. Burnley, Dan Ajay. Okay, this is back-to-back players who were in the last FIFA 16 video, but I promise this isn't going to happen again. Ajay could have reached a 76 on FIFA 5 years ago, and Sean Dyche probably could have done with him against Leicester, as he's basically got most of his squad injured. But he's at Oxford now, and nowhere near a 76 yet. Chelsea, J. Clark-Salter. Chelsea's FIFA 16 squad is brimming with players with loads of potential, but the one with the most is J. Clark-Salter. He started the game really low as a 57, but he had the ability to flip the switch and reach a 75. So he could go up a whopping 18 ratings and he still wouldn't be good enough to get anywhere near the Chelsea defence. He's still with the Blues but spends most of his days on loan and realistically needs to leave permanently as soon as possible. Crystal Palace, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Right, I've slightly cheated here, but it's in the name of entertainment, so bear with me. Rather than use the first release of FIFA 16 with the initial ratings, instead we're using the most updated version before FIFA 17 came out, and on that, Aaron Wan-Bissaka was the player with the most potential at Palace, back when he was considered a winger rather than a defender. Christ, that's a sorry state, the bloke's so bad at crossing he can't even win tic-tac-toe. But he could go from a 57 to a 75, and he's gone beyond that now, last seen on FIFA as an 82 for Man United. Everton, Mason Hallgate. He was one of the worst players on FIFA 16, but there was still high hopes for Mason Hallgate, who was tipped to go from a 61 all the way to an 80. I mean, before last season, I'd have thought there'd have been no chance of him getting there, as he didn't even look good to be in the Championship. But he thrived at centre-back at Goodison last time out, and is well on his way to hitting that 80. In fact, last season his potential was 81. Fulham, Emerson Hyndman. Fulham's player with the most potential 5 years ago is a man from the States, United States, and a man who has since returned to his homeland after failing to get going on English shores. At Fulham, Hyndman was a 64 with potential to get to an 80, but he never really got going, and the move to Bournemouth failed to spark any development either. Well, after a few loan spells in Scotland, Hyndman is back in America with Atlanta United, where I'm sure he's much happier. He can do that fun celebration that Joseph Martinez used to do with Almiron. Leeds United, Calvin Phillips. Well, this is nice, isn't it? 5 years ago, FIFA thought Calvin Phillips had the most potential, and they were right. He was a 61 with potential to hit 75, and he's actually succeeded that. On this FIFA he'll have the potential to go deep into the 80s. He's a top class player who's had a great rise in recent years, although I'm sure FIFA didn't factor in the fact that Marcelo Bielsa will arrive and make every player in white a million times better. Seriously, how's Patrick Bamford scoring Premier League goals? Leicester City, Ben Chilwell. Okay, like the Crystal Palace one, was slightly cheating here, but Ben Chilwell's a lot more exciting than Brandon Fox, isn't he? Well, Chilwell had the potential to go from a 64 to an 80 in the most recent update for FIFA 16, and 5 years on he's even better than anticipated. He's probably England's best left back, and now at Chelsea he's going to be higher than the 80 he was tipped for. As for Brandon Fox, he was last seen playing for Tamworth, so I think you can excuse me for bending the rules. Liverpool, Jordan Rossiter. The Reds have got loads of players coming through the academy right now, so a penny for Jordan Rossiter's thoughts, who 5 years ago had the most potential on FIFA 16. He was a 61 with the ability to get a 77, but the next Steven Gerrard, not sure if he was ever called that, is now miles away from Anfield. Rossiter plays his football for Joey Barton at Fleetwood Town, which actually isn't even that far from Anfield. It's only like an hour and a half. He probably hasn't even had to move house. Manchester City, Manuel Garcia. Our player with the most potential to improve so far, Manuel Garcia had the ability to go up 20 ratings on FIFA 16. He started the game as a 61, but with some hard work, endeavour and maybe some luck along the way, he could get to an 81. Not really worth it, is it? Well, nowadays he plays for Sporting Gijón in Spain, and his last potential on FIFA 20 was even higher at 83, so screw you everyone who agreed with me, don't sleep on Manuel Garcia. Man United, Region Pool. Whatever Man City can do, Man United can do even better. Garcia could go up 20, but Pool could go up 22. He started FIFA 16 as a 55, so math fans, what was his potential? Come on. No, it wasn't 92, it was 77, do your homework next time. Well, Pool now plays for MK Dons, and his potential is on the decline at 76. Newcastle United, Freddie Woodman. Newcastle's player with the most potential on FIFA 16 is still with the club today, although he's not that close to becoming the club's number one. He was a 60 with the potential for 76, but that's actually gone up in recent years, and now his potential is 82. Fair play, Freddie. I hope you enjoy your second year on loan at Swansea. Sheffield United, Che Adams. Just like before, we're cheating again, but come on, it's Che Adams. What else was I meant to do? This is the guy that scored that cracker against City last season. Well, 5 years ago he had the potential to go up 14 ratings to 76, and nowadays he's very close to reaching that potential. And as we all know, he now plays for Southampton, a team once beaten 9-0 by Leicester. Never forget. Southampton, Ryan Seager. All the players coming through Southampton's academy and the most potential on FIFA 16 belong to Ryan Seager, who will go from 62 to 76. Sadly though, he's not reached it. In fact, he now plays non-league for Hungerford Town. That sounds like a fun place, doesn't it? The nickname's the Crusaders, but it should be the Hungry Hippos or something like that. That would be much better. Tottenham, Kyle Walker-Peters. Okay, I lied before when I said there wouldn't be anyone else from the previous FIFA 16 video. I'd like to now apologise formally to all involved for this appalling and abhorrent mistake. Anyway, Kyle Walker-Peters could reach 72 on FIFA 16, and he's since passed that, with his last FIFA rating being 74. Well done, Kyle, I'm sure your mum's very proud. And you, I imagine. Proud moment. West Brom, Zachary El-Bouzedi. West Brom's academy produces loads of talent, and on FIFA 16, El-Bouzedi was tipped to kind of become another star. He could go from a 61 to an 81, but I bet that rating quickly disappeared. By 2017 he'd left West Brom and gone to Scotland, and he's now back in the Football League with Lincoln City after briefly returning to Ireland to drink some Guinness and other stereotypes. West Ham, Oscar Borg. To be fair, I initially called this guy Oscar Bong, which tells you all you need to know. Either I'm ignorant, or this guy wasn't very memorable. On FIFA 16 he'd go up 18 ratings from a 58 to a 76 with the Hammers, but nowadays it looks like he's a free agent. Anyone get this man a club. He also shares the same with a Norwegian composer, which is nice, isn't it? Wolves, Bright Enobuke. As always we end with Wolves, and their player with the most potential is a man who actually left the club this summer. He was a 58 on FIFA 16, but could reach a 76 if he tried hard, which would have been damn good in the pre-Portugal year at Molineux. Nowadays he'd be laughed at Wolves with a 76. Well, Enobuke left Wolves this summer, taking his talents to AEK Athens where he gets to play alongside former Barcelona defender Dimitri Chiginski, the lucky swine. So there we have it, that's each team's player with the most potential on FIFA 16 and where they are now. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo, and until next time we will see you around.